When we met at last year's conference, a question that was on the minds of a lot of people in the audience, back at your companies and in the media, was a single question. Will corporate responsibility survive the Great Recession? And there were a lot of naysayers who believed that, in fact, when the recession hit and filtered its way through the economy, we would see corporate responsibility, commitments to sustainable business go away. I think that the fact that there are 1,000 of you here from about 40 countries around the world speaks very, very loudly and is human evidence showing that not only has corporate responsibility survived the Great Recession, in many ways, it is thriving, and the importance of the work that we do is clearer than ever. And in fact, I think that people talk a lot about the green economy, but the events of the last year in many ways have shown that our work is not about creating a green economy, it's about creating a strong economy. The world is simply changing in a much more accelerated way. And a lot of the underlying trends that have been present for a long time are fundamentally reshaping the business environment and the economic environment and the social environment. And this presents an immense number of opportunities for companies. Companies that embrace the changes and make the most of them and figure out how to turn those into new economic opportunities will find actually unparalleled opportunities for success. At BSR, we're committed to continuing to help you embrace these opportunities by thinking about what's next. We see a roadmap that has three increasingly important elements, three ways of thinking about sustainability that we think will help you meet the challenge of the reset world. First is innovation for sustainability. Second is system redesign. And third is leveraging the power of networks. The world is looking to governments for leadership. However, it's much more likely that that leadership will come if business pushes in that direction. In 47 days, we'll have many, many people descending on Copenhagen to try to find an international agreement on climate change. The need for success there is absolutely clear. A deal in Copenhagen is needed to put us on a path towards low-carbon prosperity and to give companies the certainty that they need to make investments pointing in that direction. This is a huge test for us to see whether we can act in advance of this immense looming issue and come up with collaborative solutions that put parochial concerns, local concerns, national concerns somewhat to the side, all in the name of meeting our common challenge. Again, I think business has a great opportunity to demonstrate that its commitment is strong, firm, and looking to the future. And by looking at a comprehensive approach, an approach that includes 5 elements. First, working to help governments push towards an agreement, positive influence on public policy. Second, technological innovation to create the new kinds of elements of an economy that we need to make progress on climate change, regardless of the kind of deal that happens. Third, achieving efficiencies within existing operations, which of course presents immense opportunities for economic savings now. Fourth, a recommitment to working within value chains, because on even the simplest products, progress can't be made on reducing carbon intensity without working with value chain partners. And fifth, communicating. Everyone in this room and all of our institutions touches hundreds of millions, if not billions of people every day with the communications we put out into the world. And many companies are meeting the challenge of encouraging consumers to use less energy, of having people think about the consequences of their actions, and of helping people think about getting more value and using less stuff. Well, that is a very powerful platform indeed, and it is really a huge multiplier effect that helps to change people's minds, which helps to change public policy positions, which helps to create policy frameworks that create the right kinds of incentives So this is something that has in some ways been underutilized. I think there's great, great potential for doing more of that. So these 5 things taken together, if we have a weak agreement out of Copenhagen or no agreement out of Copenhagen, will demonstrate that while the world's governments are moving very slowly, the business community is moving more quickly, more firmly, with more conviction, and I think that's a message that's going to be needed. We are emerging into a new era when companies who recognize the fundamental changes that have only accelerated in the last year, only accelerated, will be the big winners in the next 25 years. And the companies that don't will find that new technologies, new social expectations, new business models look a lot more like barriers than they do look like the great frontier of progress that we can all achieve together.